Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. So today's video, the topic that I'm going to be talking about is the importance of financial education, the importance of educating yourself on finances, money, business. This is super vital, I believe, for you to just, even if you have a job, to start to ask yourself questions about money more frequently and seek to understand what is money. Seek to understand the history of money, what makes money good, like what makes properties of a money good, what makes properties of money bad. And a book that I've been reading recently is The Bitcoin Standard. So this book is mostly a history book about money, about the history of money throughout human history. So it talks about money from a first principles perspective. So it breaks down money to its fundamental elements, its fundamental components. So, for example, the author highlights that for a good to be considered money, or for a good to be considered a good money, it has to have three properties. The first property is that it has to be a medium of exchange, which means that the good can be exchanged for other goods and services in the marketplace. For example, fiat currency is a good medium of exchange because you can readily trade it in the market for, say you want apples. You can give someone a $10 bill and they'll take it because it's a medium of exchange. It's something that we use to conduct transactions. And so that's the first property of money. The second property of money is that it is a store of value. The reason why we save money is because we believe that if we save it, we accumulate it, we are accumulating value in our bank accounts. And that value is I guess like a safety net in your life. You can save that money to then invest that money, to put in the stock market, to start a business, to just feel secure. And then there's the third property, which is a unit of account. This means that the money is easy to calculate. It's easy to be precise and do precise calculations with the money. And he also introduces a concept called salability, which means the ease of for a good to be sold in the marketplace without losing its value. And fundamentally, when we use it's crazy when you think about it. We use money every single day. Money, we work for money. We dedicate our time and our life to earning money so that we can live. Yet, so many people, I think, don't question what is money. What is money? What makes money what it is? And what is the quality of our money? For example, I'm sure everybody knows about inflation to a certain level, that the dollar, our currency, is losing value every single year, more and more and more, and it is becoming required, not required, but it's becoming, if you don't educate yourself on money, you're surely going to feel the pain of stressing on finances because our currency is losing its value at a rapid rate. Now, why? Why is our money losing its purchasing power? Why are prices going up? Fundamentally, the book explains the reason why inflation happens is because of an increase in the money supply into the financial system. So essentially, the Fed, or the government, is creating more money and they're adding that into the system. And when they do that, they are essentially lowering the purchasing power, weakening the purchasing power of your money, of our money. And we've been feeling the effects of this for the last almost 100 years, when we went off the gold standard. Now, before we used fiat currency, the world ran on the gold standard, which was a more stable currency. But since we went off that, the government literally just creates money. They print money. And another cause of the money supply going up is banks giving out loans. So when banks give out loans, they're essentially creating new money and injecting it into the money supply. And this makes everything difficult. It makes things more expensive. Cost of living goes up. Houses go up. Everything goes up. So unless you really study this and understand it, you're not going to be equipped with the education that you have to make better financial decisions or choices. You know, like if you don't have the knowledge, if you remain ignorant, then you're going to be in a lot of pain financially, because you're not going to be able to make correct decisions because you don't have accurate information in which you choose to make decisions in your life. So this is a book. You look this book up, Bitcoin Standard. Read this book. It's fascinating. And no, back to the topic of the money supply. You know, essentially the people in charge of this print and create all this money, and it causes so many problems. It's the root cause of so many societal problems, is the economic system in which we use, that we were born into and that we use in our lives. And he makes the argument of why Bitcoin is the best money ever created, you know. And I've known about Bitcoin for many years. I, invested a little bit into it way back like 7 years ago, and that was a good investment. But Bitcoin, he makes the argument, is going to be the most quality money because it's a currency in which the supply cannot be increased. There's only 21 million Bitcoin, and that's it. Can't be created anymore. And that solves the problem of inflation, and Bitcoin's being adopted more and more by corporations, governments. It's becoming validated, credible, little by little. So I recommend to look into Bitcoin, look into crypto, as a worthwhile investment for your future and for your kids' future. So back to the topic of finances, educating yourself. Take time every day to just educate yourself on finances, educate yourself on business ownership, watch podcasts, watch YouTube videos, and just get it into your mind. Because the first step is exposing yourself to the knowledge that is beneficial for you, so learn about, investing, learn about budgeting, learn about how to earn more money, And another fundamental principle that I've learned recently with having my business is that making money is fundamentally solving problems for people. You solve problems. The bigger problems that you can solve, the more money you'll get paid. The smaller problems you solve, the less money you get paid. So, a way I like to think about it is that making money, even the phrase making money is not a correct phrase. In essence, you're extracting money from the market, from other human beings, from providing a service, solving a problem for people. And like I was going to say, the way I think of it is fishing. Like you can fish. Think of the different markets as different areas of the ocean. As a fisherman, you want to cast your net over a area where there's more fish. Because if you cast your net in an area where there's lots of fish, you're going to capture more fish. This analogy applied to making money is that you want to go into a market where there's demand, where people are willing to pay you to solve a particular problem for them. So cast your net over that whatever market you want to catch, and that's how you make money. Essentially, you solve problems for a group of people that have that problem. You position yourself to sell that. You learn a skill, you learn something to provide that. I chose window cleaning because it was low startup cost and simple business to learn. And but yeah, I think that's a very powerful way to think about earning money, is to think, what problems can I solve for people that they can pay me for? Rather than the mindset that I used to have of what job can I get to make money, which, I mean, in all fairness, is not a wrong way to think about it, because when you work a job, you're essentially, you are solving a problem, but you're solving the problem for the company. The company needs someone to solve a particular problem, a certain role, fill a role in the company to solve a problem for providing a service or product. As a business owner, you do that independently rather than doing it for an employer. So you're essentially you're running your own ship as a business owner rather than doing something for a company that's serving the public. You're doing it yourself. So think about that. Think about, what problems can I solve? And there's so many opportunities, so many possibilities. My sort of thought is that, just do whatever's working. You don't have to be the next Steve Jobs or, Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg. Just choose an industry that is currently doing well. There's demand for it. And yeah, there's going to be competition, but competition is a good thing, because competition means there are people in the marketplace paying for that. So if you learn whatever skill you need to learn, and you get in front of a lot of people, you're eventually going to get some people buying from you. So yeah, basically this video was all over the place, but fundamentally the idea that I wanted to project to you is, educate yourself on finances, learn about business, learn about value generation or solving problems, learn about money, actually question what money is from first principles, understand the components of money, the history of money, how the government makes money and how this is screwing all of us. And the only way that we can sort of help ourselves is by understanding money and making the right choices by investing, learning how to make more money, purchasing assets. And this is going to be what's best for us in the long term. Because if you completely ignore this topic and you don't think about money, you don't analyze it, inflation is going to eat you alive. So self-educate yourself. Even if it's for 5 minutes a day, it's better than nothing. Rather than watching 3 hours of YouTube or Netflix, put 10, 15 minutes reading a book, listening to a podcast, and educate yourself. Super important. That is my belief. So that's the video. If you liked it, subscribe, like. See you guys in the next one.